All departing craft from Putnik Prime spaceports must register their flight path.
I told you it was a bad idea to split the group like that.
I was trying to take him down from a distance. It's what a sniper rifle is for. Those mercenaries know the area better than us, that is all.
Goddamn Fuba, the whole mission.
Well, maybe if you spent more time training and less time gambling away the crew's profits, we would have succeeded.
All right, enough. All of you. Them mercs that ran us off ain't got nothing on the Vendetta's crew. So we all need to get it together. Understand? We ain't gonna be walking away as easily from them.
Captain, I've got something. I was just in Sully's, that merc bar by the mag rail station. Picked up a hot tip. Looks like one of the Vendetta's crew just dropped off a loot stash somewhere here in the subsector. That map we found, it leads right to it. So, we follow the map. We find their cache. And, I presume, the one who's hiding it.
That's a bet I'd take. Everyone gear up. We got work to do.
Hey guys, before we get started today, I wanted to give you a little heads up that through the month of December 2022, everything in the MeMyselfAndI.com store is on sale, 10% off. And if you're a patron member or YouTube channel subscriber, that discount is actually 20% off. So if you've got any cool geek gamers in your life you want to get a Christmas gift for, that might be a good thing to look at. Once again, MeMyselfAndI.com/store. Check it out now. Hey guys, welcome back once again to Be Myself and Die. I am, as always, your intrepid host, Trevor DeVal. Thanks for joining me here today on episode 3 of the 5 Parsecs from Home Tabletop Miniatures campaign. So, to dive right in, there's a few things I want to talk about before we begin. And that is a couple of thoughts from last time, a few little mistakes and things like that that came up. First of all, the captain went out of action last time, but he had a luck point, which would have saved him once. So I didn't know that, I forgot about that, so that was a mistake that I hopefully will not make again. 2, the mercenaries had a tactical nature, which theoretically meant they should have been moving at half speed most of the time, but because the board was pretty convoluted with stuff, it was kind of difficult to tell what was open terrain and what wasn't. But anyway, that's just a little thing as well. They should have actually been moving at half speed. The third thing is that Kale, our character who was in the med bay last time, because he was in the med bay meant that I'm not supposed to get charged for his upkeep, so I actually wound up paying 1 more credit than I should have for upkeep, so I'm just going to make that adjustment now and give me 1 back. And just a reminder to those of you who have brought it up in the comments as well, that when you are stunned in this game, it doesn't mean you can't do anything. It means you can either move or take an action, like shoot. So there was a moment where the guy with the flamer was stunned and he still fired, and a lot of you said, well, how can that be? He's stunned. Well, the fact is, he didn't move, so he could fire. He still gets 1 action, even though he was stunned. In the episode, I did say he aimed, which he shouldn't have been able to do because aim is an action. So, but it was irrelevant anyway because aim only matters if you roll a 1. So anyway, that's how that works. If you're stunned in this game, it just means you can either move or take an action. Not both. Also, I have to remember story points. I have story points here. I have 8, but because this is the beginning of the 3rd campaign turn, you get an additional story point. So now my story points go up to 9. I really have to remember I have these. And finally, I know some of you are wondering about why does Jenna have that sort of weird Brooklyn-y sort of voice that she has? Well, that's because in a previous episode, I already established that she inexplicably has that accent, so now it's canon, so get used to it. Anyway, moving on with campaign turn 3. We've gained our new story point. It is now time to carry on. Now, here's the thing. We have a quest, and we know that the quest has something to do with the stash of one of the Vendetta's crew somewhere. But the way the rules for quests work is the first time you embark upon a quest mission, it's not going to be the end point of the quest. It's only a stepping stone. The second quest mission you take might actually end the quest, but you won't know that until after the battle. So to move on, there's no invasion to flee. We're not going to travel. We're going to stick around because we know that the first quest is, in fact, on this world of Putnik 2. So that means we go right to upkeep and ship repairs. Well, there is no ship repairs, thankfully. However, we do have upkeep. Normally this would cost us a credit, actually 2 credits, because now we have a crew of 7. Nobody's in the sick bay this time. However, we found last time ship supplies, which gives us upkeep costs for 1 turn. Also, we have this water purifier, which gives us 1 credit per turn. Ship debt is our next thing. Now, I have 19 credits. We owe 15 on it. I'm going to spend 4. That brings me down to 15 credits. And it also brings us down to a debt of 11. But as there's still debt, the amount owing on the ship is increased by 1 credit. But we have the water purifier, which we can sell for 1 credit, so that's an even wash there. Ship repairs, no repairs, nobody's in medical care, so now we assign and resolve crew tasks. I'm not gonna send anybody to go find a patron this time because they're gonna try and go on this quest mission, so nobody's gonna do that. We know that Vine's cutlass was damaged, so someone should be trying to repair that. I think we're gonna have Katria. She is going to be the one who stays on board the ship and repairs the cutlass, or at least makes a valiant attempt to do so. You can spend credits on spare parts. Every 1 credit gives you a +1. You know what? Let's spend 1 credit on this. So she's rolling a +2, and she rolls a 4 + 2 is 6, which means it is repaired. That is awesome. I definitely want to send someone as a decoy because I don't want our rivals to track us down. There are rivals on this planet. I'm going to send Kale on decoy. Training. I'm gonna have Stein train, so he's gonna get +1 XP as he hits the gun range, I guess, as he's training his combat skills. And then there's gonna be trading and exploring. You know what? I really don't want to get caught out on the rival thing, so I'm gonna send Vine actually out with Kale to act as decoys to make sure that the rivals don't track us down. I'm going to send Mara to explore it, and the Captain and Jenna will trade. So the Captain and Jenna, they're still on Putnik Prime, this big sprawling sci-fi futuristic city, and they're going to go out to the markets. And remember, too, that Putnik Prime has busy markets, which allows for 2 credits, you can roll an additional time on the trade table, so that could come into play. First of all, the Captain. What happens with the Captain at those markets? 73. The Captain finds a deal at an army surplus. Your choice of an auto rifle, blast pistol, or glare sword. Ooh, cool. Well, the glare sword is much better than his blade. I think the Captain's taking that glare sword. That's right. It's not a trademarked saber made of light. It is a glare sword. A glare sword. No lawsuits here. That was the Captain trading, and now Jenna is also trading in these markets. Medical reserves obtain 2 stim packs and 2 med patches. If a character would become a casualty, they remain on the table with a single stun marker. I have to remember I had that because I had one of those from before too. That could have prevented the battle from being lost. It's okay. This is how we learn. This item can be used reflexively upon becoming a casualty. It does not require an action. Remember the stim packs, Trevor. Remember the stim packs. Remember the stim packs. Let's do an additional trade roll for 2 credits because of the busy markets. Because of these busy markets, they also encounter gently used. Roll once on the gear subsection of the loot table. This item is damaged and needs repair. So they trade for a gently used item. And what is that item? 45, a damaged hazard suit. If the character takes a hit from an environmental hazard, they receive a 5+ saving throw. Okay, that's good to know. We have a damaged sonic emitter too. You know what? I think Mara has to not go exploring. So Mara is now back at the ship in the workshop. She's trying to carefully spend some money on some supplies. 2 credits worth, which puts us down to 10, but it'll give her a +2 on this D6 roll, and she rolls a 2, +2 is 4. Wasted, unfortunately. She's not able to repair the sonic emitter. That sucks. That, however, brings us to essentially the end of the task, because everybody's done what they're supposed to do. Determine job offers. We skip that because we're going right for the quest instead. Assign equipment. The Captain's gonna keep his glare sword. As they get back to ship, he's gonna take his blade, put it in the stash. Does anybody else need a blade? Yeah, I'm gonna give Kale the blade instead. The Klingfire pistol that we found before, that is an awesome gun. I think Mara, our secret agent, or ex-secret agent is going to get the Clingfire pistol. We have a dose of still, too. The user gains +1 to hit, but cannot move during this in the next round. I should remember that too. I always forget about all the little things. It's just like when I play a game like Skyrim. I always forget about all these potions I have that can give you little tiny bonuses because I'm like, to hell with it. I'm just going in. So I can't do that now. I have to remember all the little advantages I have from my gear. Resolve any rumors. We don't have to do that because we're already on a quest. And we have +1 quest rumor as well, which is going to help us after the quest to see how far along the quest we've come. Choose your battle. So here's the thing. We do want to take this quest. However, it is possible that our rivals hunt us down. Tally up the number of rivals you have and roll a d6. We have 2 rivals. If the roll is equal to or lower than the number of rivals, one of them has tracked you down. You add +1 to the roll for every crew member sent to act as a decoy. So I've got 2 guys out there acting as decoys. So that means there's no way the rivals can track us down. So I roll and I roll. A 6 + 2 is 8. That's certainly over 2. So there's no way that our rivals could have tracked us down. So actually that was maybe a bit of an overkill, but it was a guaranteed way to make sure the rivals don't track us down, which is good because we want to take the quest mission, which means we determine exactly what the nature of this quest is. So what are the deployment conditions of said quest? And I roll a 32. Toxic environment. I should have repaired that hazard suit. Whenever a combatant is stunned, roll 1d6 plus savvy. Failure to roll a 4 or more becomes a casualty. Oh boy. So the environment's so toxic. Oh, I just have an idea where this is. This environment could be like at a processing plant. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, this environment's going to be at like some sort of chemical processing plant where, bullet holes can basically like pierce the metal casings of various supply crates and things to spew out toxic stuff to make the air pretty lethal. That's cool. That's definitely what we're doing. So you can see how just from roll on one table automatically allows me to conceive of what the actual fighting location is going to be, right? So that's what's kind of cool about these random tables, is that you can just let your imagination build upon that inspiration and take you to places that you wouldn't normally have gone. Notable sites for the quest. We have got a roll of 31. Priority target. Select a random enemy figure, add +1 to their toughness. If they are slain, gain 1d3 credits. All right, determine the objective of this particular quest mission. Defend. Your objective is to drive off the enemy. To win, you must hold the field. And finally, determine the enemy. 95. Roving threats. You've stumbled into something dangerous in the area and must fight for your life. Our guys are at the toxic processing plant looking for the next clue because the map has led them here. But unbeknownst to them, some sci-fi horror is sneaking around here. And what is it? It's going to be 23. It's going to... Oh boy. Swarm Brood. Swarm Brood, multiple-limbed aliens that react to all other life forms with extreme violence. They're pack hunters. Oh, this could be awful. And their numbers are +2. And they are an invasion threat. So Putnik Prime might be under threat of invasion because of these things. Oh, this is bad. So our guys get to this toxic processing plant and looking for the clue to lead them to the enemy stash, and they find not only Swarm Brood coming to eradicate them, but this could be a possible beginning of a much larger invasion. There are Swarm Brood here, and they're coming for us. So let us go to the table. Ghostfire has just launched Grim Hollow, Citadel of the Unseen Sun, on BackerKit crowdfunding as a 6 hardcover book slipcase set. Since the release of the Fable subscription, everyone has been asking and waiting patiently for a physical release of this epic 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons adventure, built to take characters from 1st through 13th level. Pledge now to get all the rewards and unlock exclusive stretch goals, which improve the product for everyone. But the project ends on the 15th of December, so there's not much time. Details are in the video description below. Okay, so here we are at the table. This is the abandoned chemical processing plant. I have to remember that there's a toxic environment in place. Basically, all of these canisters and processing plant facilities and everything have been run down and punctured. So there's like this hideous green chemical fog soup sort of roiling everywhere. And so anytime anybody takes a stun, they have to make a savvy test to quickly put on their gas mask or something. And if they fail that, they become a casualty. Now, this will apply to our swarm brood aliens as well. They are just as vulnerable to this. The other thing I have to remember, story points. I have story points. They can re-roll things. And of course, I've got consumables. I've got some stim packs. I've got a dose of still, which gives me a +1 to hit if I don't move. So I'm really gonna have to remember to use this stuff or else I'm dead, because these things are incredibly tough. I have rolled a total of 8 of them, which is brutal. One of which is not only a lieutenant or a I guess you'd call it a pack leader, but also this is the target of opportunity that we rolled. So if I do kill that one swarm brood that looks nothing at all like another licensed alien species that starts with a T, if I do kill that one pack leader, then I get some extra credits at the end, providing that I win and hold the field, because that is the nature of this mission, is to defend. So basically, narratively speaking, our guys are followed the map to this broken down chemical factory, and they're carefully looking for the next clue that's going to point them to the stash of the Vendetta's crew. But they're suddenly out of the fog. They hear as they kind of look at each other and they realize they're about to be swarmed by swarm brood aliens. So let's get on with it. Yes, I'm going to put my round marker right here so I don't forget. All right, so the enemy is starting over there at the far edge, and we are starting here. So the first thing we're going to do is attempt to seize the initiative. The battle round. I'm adding my own music. Roll 2d6 and add the highest savvy score of any crew member. We are outnumbered, so we get +1. So we're going to roll +1, but +2 because we're outnumbered. We are looking for a high number. Oh, God, snake eyes. Great. Okay, well, we do not seize the initiative. That's terrible. Here's the thing. Am I going to spend a story point to seize the initiative? Because if you seize the initiative, you can either take a normal move or fire before the round begins, but any shots taken only hit on a natural 6. You know what? Let's look at story points, because I might actually want to spend one right here, because I might need that extra round of movement just to get up and away, because these things come fast and furious. Anytime you've rolled for anything, you may spend 1 story point to roll again. I'm going to do it for the reroll, bending the story point I got for starting campaign round 3, basically. Let's try this again. Here we go. 9. +2 is 11. That totally paid off. Awesome. Seize the initiative. We could we can either move or fire, but any shots taken only hits on a natural 6. I think we're gonna take the normal move instead. I think that's what we're gonna do. Katria, she's gonna try and get up here. So she is gonna go, she moves 2, and then she moves 2 up the ladder, which puts her right there. Mara Mason moves at 4, so she is going to try and get up high as well. She moves 1 to the ladder, and then she can do 3 up, which puts her, conveniently, right midway up the ladder there. Cover doesn't really matter for these enemies because they have no range weapons. So getting to cover is not really that big a deal. Getting up away where the enemy's going to have to, yeah, you know what? Okay, here's what we're going to do. I think Stein is going to stay close to Katria. He's gonna do his 3, and they're both on the ladder. They're essentially in the same area there. Vine, with his speed of 4, is gonna take his seized initiative to move that way. I think the captain is also going to, he moves faster. He's gonna move 5. He's gonna move right there. And then Jenna, I think Jenna's gonna follow Mara up. Jenna moves at 4. So she's gonna get right there. And that was the seizing of initiative. Now we go into the reaction rolls. What do we get here? Not bad, not bad. Okay, 3 of them are gonna go in the quick round, which is pretty good. The 2 is gonna go to Rice and Ganymer. 1 is gonna go for Katria, and the other one is gonna go for Mara, I think. Vine's on 6. Again, not on 6, just in the slow round. Jenna's on 6, and Stein is on 6 as well. Okay, so in the quick round, we're gonna have Katria go first. She's gonna move her, I believe that's just 2 inches up. 2 inches up puts her there. At this point, she has a very clear shot with her military rifle. And that's definitely within range, and the guy is in cover, not in cover. So that's actually a pretty good shot she could take right now. In fact, she's got to move a 4, so I'm going to put her right over there actually, because that gives her more of a vantage point to potentially shoot those guys right there. This is 5 up because it's within the range, but not in cover. Okay, she gets +1 because she's got +1 to her combat skill. She blasts away with 1 shot, and the military rifle she rolls a 1, and she wasn't aiming, so unfortunately she misses again. We could spend another story point. I hate to do this, but I think I have to, because these things are going to kill us if they get closer. I have to spend another story point. I mean, that's what they're for, right? She's gonna do a re-roll, and there you go, +1 is 6, so she hits with that military rifle. This one right there. Pow. And she's going to now roll her damage. These things have toughness 4. So, what happens? 5 takes him out. And she gets the first kill. Katria gets the first kill, which means she's going to get that bonus XP as well. All right, over here we've got Mara. Mara's going to move up. She's going to move the 3 inches to put her up here. And then from here, will she have a shot? She will have a shot, but she's going to move the other inch right there. That's her move. She can fire as well, but it's going to be -1 to hit. I don't know if you can really see it, but she has a shot at either of these guys, so she's going to take it. She's rolling at -1, so she basically needs to get a 6. Does she do it? No. Unfortunately, she misses with the hunting rifle. Rice and Ganem are here. He's going to try and get up that ladder. He's going to dash, so he's going to take his full move basically of 7. 1 is going to put him to the ladder. That means he can go 6 up. 6 up is going to put him right at the base in here. I'm just going to have him show up there, essentially. And that is it for the quick actions. Now we go to the enemy phase. So these are beasts. Beast enemies will always attempt to move as far as possible towards the nearest opponent while remaining in cover. They will only break cover if they can enter a brawl within 2 moves. Otherwise, they will move to break line of sight and maneuver closer, and they'll try and remain within 2 inches of a friendly figure, because these creatures, these Swarm Brood, have a special rule where they don't do their brawls until the end of the enemy phase, which basically means they have an opportunity to gang up and use their gang up bonuses to literally swarm the enemy. So that's going to be their tactic, which is bad news for us. So let's start over here first of all. Well, who is the closest enemy they can see? That's going to be Katria. So they move at speed 6. So he's going to move 6 and dash into cover here. But these two, I think, are also going to move. They're going to try and stay in cover here. This one's going to move 6 and just remain kind of in here. So this is going to be, he's going to be using this for cover, so he'll gain the advantage of cover. And this one will also move 6, and they'll keep together like that. And they're everybody's in cover here, all these aliens. Okay, so now over here, this is our other pair here. This is with the leader. They're moving towards the closest, which technically is Vine or, well, anybody out here. They can see them. So the leader's going to move. He can move 6, which puts him there. So he'll move into cover. And then the other one as well will move up behind him, remaining in cover as well. These two, yeah, I think these two begin to climb up the ladder. Scuttling up the ladder as they go. There's no firing or anything because they don't got any ranged weapons, which brings us to the slow phase. Let's start over here with Stein. Stein is, technically he was on the ladder, basically the same as Katria was. So he's going to move his 2 inches, which puts him there. And we'll just give him a 3rd inch there. That's it for him, but he can shoot. Now he has his hand laser with a range of 12, and he's got his scrap pistol range of 9. Well, all these guys are in range of his hand laser. So he's gonna fire at the closest enemy here who is in cover, so he needs a 6 up. Stein does not have a combat bonus yet, so he fires his laser pistol and misses. Ricochets off the cover of that broken down barrier there, breaking out a bunch of concrete. Remember, toxic environment. If anybody gets stunned, that's a thing. Okay, that was him. Let us go to Jenna here. Jenna's going to move 1, and then she's going to move her movement of 4. She gets almost to the top of the ladder there. Vine over here moves at 4. He is also going to... Well, is he or is he going to shoot? He does have a shot if he wants it. He could shoot at this alien right here. But then he can't move, because you can't shoot and then move. And yeah, I don't think he wants to be caught on the bottom here. Does he just want to start opening up? He does have an infantry laser, and he has a boarding saber, so he can fight in hand-to-hand if these things come up to him. Oh, and it's also elegant. Ooh, his boarding saber is elegant, which means he can re-roll his attack roll. You know what? I think he's better placed to actually stick here. So he's going to, and I'm changing my mind here, but what's the range of this thing? Infantry lasers, 30. Okay, so he's going to move back here behind cover, not that it really matters, but he's going to take his shot. Okay, I'll take the shot, but it's at cover, so he's got to roll 6 up. Vine, his combat bonus is +1, and he rolls a 4, which unfortunately means he misses. Infantry laser, boom, and that is the end of the slow round. Now, morale phase for enemies, however, their panic range is 0, which means unless something happens to change the panic range, they do not flee. That's also bad news for us. Round 2. Okay, here we go again with our reaction rolls. Let's see who goes when. Boom. This is not good. We've only got 2 1s. Everybody else is going to be on the slow round. Gotta get those reaction rolls up. Gotta spend some XP. You know what? Just because I want Captain Rice-N-Ganimer to go on 1, and I think Katria again, because Katria has an open shot against this one here, so she's gonna try and take him out as well. Everybody else is gonna go on 6s. Quick phase, boom, let's do with the captain here first. The captain's on top, he's gonna go 4 inches to go up here. His move is 5, so he can do another inch there. He doesn't have a shot from here. Oh, you know what? He can shoot right through there. He can shoot at the leader, but it's going to be sort of an obscured shot. I'm going to call that cover. See if I can show you. But basically, he can see the leader right through there. And you know what? The leader... Well, no, the leader is within 1 inch of the terrain, so the leader does have cover. He's going to take the shot. He's firing with his military rifle, so he's basically got to get... He's got a +1 combat. He needs a 600 to hit. 4 + 1 is 5. Unfortunately, he will miss that. Bullets ricochet everywhere. Over here, we've got Katria. She's going to fire at the one who is open, because this fella right there, this hideous swarm crawler alien, is open to her, and it's not within 6 inches, so she is rolling a 5 up, but she gets a +1 with her military rifle. 5 + 1 is 6. She hits it, and the damage she does is straight up. Does she do anything? No, okay, so she stuns it. Oh, this is actually really good. So this one is stunned. It gets moved back 1 inch, which means it knocks into the other swarm brood. So they both get knocked back. The character collided with is pushed 1 inch along the direction of movement and then stunned. So they're both stunned. So that's great. Okay, so she fires a barrage of military rifle fire into this, which kind of drives them back as the bullets ricochet off the carapace of this thing. They're both stunned there. And now, because of the toxic environment, because of all the chemicals, they have to do a savvy test. So the first one here, basically, they roll savvy, which is a +0. Do they get 4 up? No! This one is taken out as a casualty! The toxic chemicals seep into the wound in the carapace caused by the bullets, and the thing begins to scream and howl in pain as the chemicals begin to eat it away from the inside. Cool! Oh, that one is also stunned, so does it get splashed with some toxic soup? Yes, it does! Roll a 3! Boom! It gets also taken out. This is going tremendously well, Katria. Oh boy, she used to be the captain. She's awesome. Okay, everybody else is on the slow phase, so that means we go to the enemies now. Well, let's start here. Okay, this one here is going to move, staying within cover unless it can get to the... Well, it can climb pretty well. That's a 1 inch up. So that'll cost it basically 1, 2, and then it's going to dash, because it's trying to get to them as within 2 moves to do a brawl. So that's first move. Second move, it'll be able to climb up and engage them. Unless, of course, Stein is able to do something about it. These two are going to stick together. So this one goes its 2 inches, and it's going to basically do a dash, which gives it another 6 inches, which puts it up here. And that's basically the same with this one, too. They scurry up the ladder with their multi-limbed bodies flailing away. And over here, same thing. These guys are going to move towards their closest target, which is going to be Mara over here. So 5 puts it there. and 6 puts it to there. So they move up, still remaining behind cover, because that's their tactics. And that was all of them. We go to the slow round. Stein sees this thing right in front of him, preparing to leap up and climb its way up to engage them in brutal combat. So he is going to blast away with... Oh, his hand laser is +1 to hit within 6 inches. Woo, that's awesome. He pulls out his hand laser, which he already had, and he blasts away at this thing right here. Close range, in the open, is a 3 up to hit, and he gets +1 because it's snapshot, and he rolls automatic 6. That's great. He hits. Boom! What's his damage with the hand laser? Toughness of 4. Oh yes! He blows this thing to pieces with the hand laser. That is 4 down. Unbelievable. That was him, and he is done. He probably would have aimed as well because he could have re-rolled the 1. Slow action over here. Well, looks like Vine no longer has an opportunity to shoot unless he can... Well, you know what? Nah, he doesn't have a... I was going to suggest maybe he has a shot at this guy, but it's pretty rough. He does, however, have a shot at this guy, and he's got that military laser, which has a range of 30. Oh, yeah, he's got a battle visor as well. Reroll 1s for shooting. All these little things I forget, you know? There's so many little things you have to remember. So he basically, with his battle visor, he's going to take a shot at him. This is going to be 6 up, but he gets +1, so 4 + 1 is 5. So he misses, unfortunately, there. Let's do Jenna. She moves up. She's got a move of 4, which basically puts her after her right there. And she is going to take a shot. Ooh, well, that is technically the closest enemy. So she is going to take a shot. With her hunting rifle, she's moved, so she's -1, but it's an open shot. So that's a 5 up she needs, but she's -1. She did not aim, and she has nothing, so she can't re-roll the 1, so she misses there. But Mara over here also takes a shot at the closest one, same target. You know what? She's going to take the dose of the still. Because the still is going to give her a +1 to hit if she doesn't move. She aims and fires, so she re-roll 1s and she gets +1 to hit at a 5 up, and she +1 to hit is a hit. Boom! The damage of the hunting rifle is +1. Here we go. 3 + 1 is 4. Their toughness is 4. She takes this one out. Boom! They are doing extraordinarily well. I had a bad feeling they were all gonna die here. Okay, well, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. That was her on the slow round, which means now we go to round 3. Round 3. Let's do our reaction rolls here. This is unbelievable. Okay, boom. Ooh, okay, this sucks. They all go on the slow round. They all go on the slow round because nobody has a reaction of 3 or more. The enemies go first. Okay, this is bad. It just got bad. Maybe I spoke too soon about how easy this was. Okay. All right, so it's 1 inch to the ladder, and it's 4 inches up, which puts him there. He's got another 2 inches he can go because his movement is 6, and he's gonna dash for the other 2. That puts the leader there. Over here, this one's gonna dash into cover. Over here, following its beastly impulses. 1 and then 6, and it'd also dash. So these things dash across the causeway here, across the gantry, and they're behind the cover there. And that's it for them. So slow actions. Well, let's see. Suddenly, our team over here has no real shot. They don't have a shot on anything. They gotta get out of here. So they're not gonna jump down, because if they jump down, they'll suffer damage because it's more than 3 inches. So instead, 1 and then 4. Basically, Stein dashes, and he's got another inch. He can go. And Katria dashes 2 inches and 4 inches, which puts her down to the base. So that's it for her. Vine, on the other hand, has a nice clear shot right to this one right here on the gantry. Behind cover, though. It is behind cover. So this is a 6 up roll. He does re-roll 1s because of his battle visor, and he's got +1 to hit. And he gets a 3 + 1 is 4. And he needed a 6, so no, he misses. Misses there. That's it for him. Mara cannot move still. because she took the still. In this case, she's going to aim and fire. This is a 6-up shot. Oh, wait a minute. This is now within range of her cling fire pistol. So she puts the hunting rifle away, doesn't move, but pulls the cling fire pistol, aims, and cling fire, I imagine it's almost like it spits napalm or something. Like, it's just brutal. But she's gonna fire. Technically, the closest target at this is this one here. Okay, so 2 shots with the cling fire pistol. Damage 1, focused and terrifying. So the first shot she's gonna make, rerolling ones because she's aiming, is 4, which is a miss because it's more than 6 inches behind cover, so it's 6 up. Second shot also misses. Now, I don't think the terrifying applies unless you actually get hit by it. Any target hit must retreat, right. Jenna over here is going to take the shot at the same one. She is firing just a regular shot at 6 up with her hunting rifle. She's going to aim and fire. Oh, she actually hits this one. Does she do damage? This is +1 against +4. No, 2 + 1 is 2. Stunned. It does stun it, and it's going to knock it back 1 inch. Now, if it knocks it back 1 inch, it's going to knock it back off the platform. But first of all, let's make that savvy roll and see. It fails its savvy roll. She must have fired right through that barrel there. And the toxic waste or whatever it is, again, splashes all over this thing, sizzling its carapace like acid, taking it out. Amazing. Oh, this toxic environment is totally helping us. Okay, that was him. And finally, the captain. He does not want to engage this thing in combat just yet, but he knows it's going to charge him. But he's got his glare sword. He's got his new glare sword, so he is ready to take this thing. It's going to be a 5-up shot, but he's going to aim and fire to reroll ones. He's got a +1. Here we go. +1. 5 + 1 is 6. He hits it with a barrage of military fire bullets. Now this is the leader. This is the pack leader, so its toughness is 5, and he rolls no. So he stuns the leader. And once again, because of the toxic environment, if you're stunned, you must roll a savvy, but beasts get savvy of 0. Oh! Again, the toxic environment sizzles the leader and takes him out from the stun. Oh my God, that was unbelievable. Okay, that was slow round. There's no morale because this thing, they feel no fear. So we go into round the 4th. Let's do some reaction rolls over here. Again, only someone with reactions of 2 can go in the quick phase. That's going to be Rice and Ganymer or Mara. I'm going to make it Mara, and everybody else is going to the slow round. Mara's going to aim and fire things behind cover. Aiming and fire. She has no bonus to hit, so she rolls a 2, 3, misses. That's her. We go to the enemy phase. Well, this thing, boy, oh boy, this is just brutal. It's going to completely charge up. You can't dash into a brawl. That's the thing. So it's going to charge up the stairs and basically get that. It could dash, but you can't dash into a brawl situation because that would be like 3 actions basically. So that's essentially where it gets. All brawls initiated by Swarm are resolved at the end of enemy actions phase. This is an interesting edge case here. So this guy has moved up his 6. He could dash another 2 to put him in contact with Jenna, but he can't also then engage a brawl because you can't dash and brawl. But I think he would still do that. It just means that Jenna's going to have to deal with the brawl on her round, basically. Hey guys, post-production Trevor here. Just noticed what just happened there was in this game, you can't dash into a brawl. So I had the alien go up 6 inches and then go 2 inches into the brawl, but you can't do that because you can never end your turn in base-to-base contact with another character. So what that meant was that Jenna would have had an opportunity to shoot before the thing came at her, which may have changed things a little bit, but yeah, mistakes happen. That's how we learn. Let's deal with Jenna right here. Now, Jenna in the brawl, she has no choice. She does not, okay, this is bad. She does not have a hand weapon. Oh boy. Okay, so this thing basically is rolling +2 because it's melee weapons of claws, +1 because it's combat skill. It's rolling D6 +1. Jenna is just rolling a straight up D6, and whoever gets higher wins. So white is going to be Jenna. Okay, well, 3 versus 5. So this thing tears into her with its claws, and its claws do +1 damage. So it's rolling d6 +1 against Jenna's toughness of 3. Oh, 4. She's gonna be taken out by that, and that was on her round. She tried to brawl. This thing's limbs just slice and dice into her. She is taken out. And then this thing gets an additional, because it won the brawl, an additional 2 inches of movement, and it moves directly towards Mara in this case. Post-production Trev here again. So after you win in a brawl, you get 2 inches of free movement. However, you cannot move into another brawl. The rules are very explicit about that. I just missed that. So again, Mara would have had possibly an opportunity to shoot before the thing came at her. So again, might have changed the outcome a little bit. But again, learning the game, that's how it works. She's gonna brawl with this thing and try and blast it with her cling fire pistol. She is rolling at +1. It's rolling at +3. The alien's on black. Oh, 6 versus 3. The alien wins, and it does damage against Mara. Her toughness is 4, and it does 3 + 1 is 4. It takes out Mara on her turn as well. Mara goes down, sliced by this thing. Ooh, boy, right in the fading hours, the fading moments of this battle. Up here, Vine sees his target. So he moves up to get within 6 inches, which gives him, he still re-rolls his ones because of his battle visor, but now this infantry laser has snapshot, which gives him a +1 to hit within 6 inches. He is within 6 inches. This thing is now technically in the open. It's got no cover against him. So he is rolling 3 ups, and he's rolling +2. Oh, look at that. Boom! So he hits that thing with his laser, and does... So he'll stun it because his toughness is 4, but as we know, the toxic environment rules come into play here. It's got to get 4 up on its savvy roll, and it does. So it is just stunned and is knocked back 1 inch. It is not taken out by the toxic environment. Stein, does Stein have a shot? He does have a shot, but he wants to get closer too if he can. Can he move up here and still see him? In order to see him, he's got to be there, which means he's out of range. So he's still going to take the shot. It's still a 5-up shot. The thing's got no cover. He's going to blast it with his hand laser, and he's going to roll a 6, which is a hit. And his damage against the thing is 1, so it will stun it again and moved back another inch. It's stunned for 2 now, and it has to do its savvy roll again. Is it every time? Yeah, he was stunned again. So he's got it. Here we go. This is going to be his 4-up. And he does it. So, okay, so again, the toxic environment does not kill this one. This one should have been the back lead. This one's unbelievable tough, and it gets knocked back there. This gives Kathria, she does have a shot. He's outside of cover, but within range, so 5 up, she gets +1. She's not going to move, so she can re-roll ones, because she's aiming. She will hit. And does she do anything to it? 5 damage will take it out. Oh my goodness. She has taken out the last of the aliens. They have held the field in this defend mission. They have wiped out the opposition, but they lost 2 of their people right at the end there. So they won the scenario, but there could be bad consequences here. I'm glad I used the story points. I'm glad I remembered the toxic environment, and I'm glad I used some of those consumables. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, good and bad. I guess we got to see what happens to Mara and Jenna. Let's go to the post-battle phase. So here we are in the post-battle phase now. There's no rival status to resolve. There's no patron status to resolve. There is, however, quest progress. So we have 1 quest rumor that we had from the previous session. So here's what we do. We just fought a battle that was part of a quest. So I roll a d6, and I had +1 for each rumor we've accumulated, which is +1. And we won the battle, so that's good. And I roll a 5 + 1 is 6. On a modified score of 4, 5, or 6, you are a step closer, gain a quest rumor. Okay, so we're closer. So they found something in that abandoned factory that leads them to the next step. If the modified roll was a 4 or higher, roll another d6. Because this may be, yes, that is a roll of a 5. The next step is on another world, and you must travel before you are able to progress the quest. Okay, that's cool. So what they find in the wreckage of this chemical processing facility is that the Vendetta's crew put their stash on another world, and they've got the coordinates of that world that they have to travel to. Now, I don't know whether they're gonna, immediately find that stash or not. That'll depend on the next quest, but they know now that's the next step. They have to leave Putnik 2 and do a different world. But before they can do that, we need to take care of a few things, one of which is get paid. You earn 1d6 credits in pay, loot, bounty, or salvage. Well, we also did kill the priority target, so that's going to be an extra 1d3 credits. That's a 5, so that's 3 more credits. If you won the mission by completing your objective, treat any roll of 1 or 2 as a 3. And I rolled a 2, which counts as a 3. So I add another 3 credits in loot and salvage from the chemical processing facility. Battlefield finds. We held the field after the battle, so we found some stuff. Roll D100 on the table below and add this to your inventory, 65. Debris, 1d3 credits worth on the scrap market. Well, okay. There's a lot of extra salvageable junk in terms of metalworks and gears and factory parts that they could have found. And in fact, they found a 3, which is another 2 credits, which puts us up to 18. And now, this is interesting, check for invasion. The enemy we just fought was an invasion threat. This is the first time we've dealt with this. There's no invasion evidence from the previous step. Modified by -1 if you held the field. 2d6 -1. Oh my god, I rolled a 12. -1 is 11 on a score of 9. The world is about to be invaded. The next campaign turn, you must follow the flee invasion campaign step. The swarm brood. That was just a scouting force. That was just a little scouting force because the whole swarm brood is on the way to devour Putnik 2! No! But first we gather the loot. Roll once on the loot table to see what you've earned. What did we find? We found 2 uses of Rage Out, brother. What does that do? The user gains +2 speed and +1 to all brawling rolls for the rest of this and the following round. Oh, you know what I just realized? The stim packs. I had the stim packs that would have turned Mara and Jenna's being taken out into stunned or whatever it does. Oh, I always forget that. You know what? I'm not going to retcon it, even though it was the very end of the round. Not going to retcon it. They probably would have been taken out anyway because they would have had to make the savvy roll because of the toxic environment. So, well, that's fine. Determine injuries and recovery. Again, they should have used the stim packs, but they didn't. So, what are you going to do? Injury table. Jenna first, and she rolls. She rolls. Oh no. Death or permanent injury. In either case, she's removed from the campaign. I don't think she's dead. I think Jenna got just eviscerated by that alien swarm brood, and I think it basically took off her arm. It sliced off her arm, left her just a slaughtered mess. And she can't continue. Jenna's out. Jenna, our wealthy merchant with a political motivation and what was the team's troubleshooter, was wounded so badly that they were barely able to get her off the field back to medbay, where she says to the captain from her sickbed, "You gotta go on without me. I can't go on anymore. I'm sorry I let you down." And the one advantage is that we don't have that silly voice of Jenna's to deal with anymore. So there's a silver lining, I guess. Oh, Jenna's out. Brutal. What about Mara, the secret agent, such as she is? Special agent. I keep saying secret agent, just special agent. What happened to Mara? We roll 92. She was just knocked out. No long-term effect. Oh boy, brutal. Okay, brutal. Experience and character upgrades. First character to inflict a casualty, of course, was Katria, so she gets 1 XP for that. Became a casualty was Mara, she gets 1 XP for that. Survived and won, everybody gets +3. Okay, we can do character upgrades now. Well, let's see. Let's do Stein. He's got 9 XP. He's been keeping this up. I think he's going to spend 7 to get his combat skill increased, and his combat skill goes up to +1. Invest in advanced training. I don't think we're ready for that yet. Purchase items. You may pay 3 credits to receive a roll in the military, gear, gadget, tables. You can also sell undamaged items. Here's a question. Jenna's out. Do I get to sell her stuff? No, that seems like cheating. Let's roll on the gear table. As we go back to Putnik Prime, as we're at the market, but of course there's rumors of people going, have you ever heard there's strange readings coming from satellite dishes, that there's something coming, some sort of fleet. But let's see what the gear is. A communicator. When making the reaction roll each round, you may roll one additional die, then choose a die to discard. That's awesome. We're rolling on the campaign event table to see what the campaign event, besides, imminent invasion. Oh, you've made some business contacts. Add a new patron to the list of those known. It won't matter because we gotta flee the planet, so unless the patron is persistent, they're not coming with us. Character events. Roll a random character. Well, we only have 6 characters now because Jenna's gone, and it would have been Jenna, but it's in fact Stein, our gambling pistol wielder. What happens to Stein? You get a letter from home. The character earns +1 XP, and on a 6, you immediately receive a quest. Okay, well, we're already on a quest. You know what? In the interest of just kind of keeping things streamlined, I'm just going to turn that into a quest rumor. So the letter from home that Stein gets is someone who maybe someone who wound up repairing the Vendetta at a spaceport, at a space dock at one point, and he just kind of casually, the letter casually mentions the location of where the Vendetta's crew went. So it just aids this current quest about where they might have actually made their stash, so I'm going to add a quest rumor to that. We don't check for Galactic War progress because nothing has been previously invaded, but that will become a step that we do, I think, pretty much ongoing from this point to see what happens with Putnik. But that brings us to the end of campaign round 3. So, very interesting. We got much closer to this stash of the Vendetta, but we lost Jenna Walker. She is no longer with us. She's not dead, but she's as good as. Leaving us with a crew of 6, which is still fine. But more importantly, the Swarm Brood invasion fleet is on the way to savage the world of Putnik Prime, and that is something we're going to have to deal with on the next episode of Me, Myself, and Die, 5 Parsecs from Home. Thank you so much for joining me, and please, if you do enjoy the content, please hit like and subscribe, or join us here on the YouTube channel, or become a subscriber on Patreon, or go check out our online store at memyselfanddie.com for the month of December 2022. Everything's 10% off, and if you are a YouTube channel subscriber or a Patreon member, you will get 20% off everything in the shop until December 31st of this year, 2022. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you next time on the next episode of Me, Myself, and Die.